Good morning. Thank you very much, and thank you to 1331 for your comments. I'm very happy to hear that I was able to be of some help, even though you didn't recognize it at the time. But what you said is inspired me to do more regarding the human experience, which is it was constructed mainly, the foundation, the base is human emotion, and that's why I have to talk about this. Why holding back? Why? What is discounting you? So it's going to be a lot of videos, a lot of podcasts, and I'm going to make them short so to get to the point that you understand, what I'm saying. Anyways, the topic today is what is pain, anxiety, and why chronic pain? Why so many people have pain or something that is chronic? It could be constant anxiety. Depression is chronic. It's something that is chronic. Pain, physical pain. All these are signals. And when someone follow a signal, so I'm going to explain. So just take your pen and paper. This is very important. So you have signals. And these signals is basically what it says. It's a signal. It's signaling that you're doing something. Now, physically, you are physical, And I'm going to use the language, the vocabulary that these teachers use so that you do not, the reason they do that is so that everything that we know, everything that we thought that it was metaphysical, let's say, is religion. Okay? When you talk about Eastern philosophies like Feng Shui, like chakras, it's religion. So the reason they're using a different vocabulary, use different words for certain things, is so that we don't continue to perpetuate that religious mentality. So even metaphysical is religious, okay? So you here having this physical experience, you here sitting, listening to me, that's the objective side of you, the objective. And your focus physically, your focus physically here, okay? But you're also non-physical, and the non-physical part of you is subjective, the subjective focus. Focus is paying attention. When you pay attention to something, you're focused on something. So there is the physical focus, and then there's the non-physical focus. The physical is the objective, the non-physical is subjective. So to make it clear. So that when you hear me say subjective, you know what I mean, and when I say objective, you know what I mean. But in the beginning, I'm going to continue, and I probably will continue to remind you what is subjective for the new people. People may come and decide to listen to podcast number 100, right? And they don't know about this podcast that I just did now. So I will probably remind them once in a while about this subjective. Anyway, so this subjective side of you is the one directing the body. The body has its own consciousness, okay? It's not some shoe or some, like people think it's a vehicle. No, it has its own consciousness. It is consciousness, and it's part of you. It's like your cat. Your cat is consciousness, and it's part of you. You created with your energy. You created your animals with your energy. Even the wild animals, you create those wild animals collectively. with other essences. They refer to us as essences. They don't refer to us as human beings. And so essences are that non-physical side of you that you may probably, the best way to explain to you is spirit, the non-physical, the energy side of, well, even when I say energy, I'm distorting it because you are energy right now. So in any case, so that non-physical part of you is the one directing the body consciousness. In a sense, the breathing, everything that your body needs to survive here is done by you non-physically. So that said, when you get a signal, it's telling you of something, but the body, the consciousness of the body, or the body consciousness, can only do things out of association. It associates everything. Okay? Think of, I don't even know how to explain it because I might distort it by using certain words, but think of the body as blind. It's blind, and it it just serves the physical by association. It associates things. Okay. So that's very important to know because later I'm going to explain different types of anxiety. Okay, there is the association, the anxiety that comes from association, and then there is the anxiety now, something happening now. And I would say that people that are experiencing anxiety, panic attacks, come from associations. Okay, I would say the people that say, "Oh, I get anxiety," and they go to the doctor and they give them pills, those people are having an association. The body's associating. The other anxiety is the one that is happening right now. So let me give you an explanation here. If a guy comes, knocks at your door, or somebody's chasing you with a knife, or somebody's shooting at you, and you are very fearful, that's now. That's the now. If they knock at your door and they say they're going to evict you, and you're in terror, that's now. That's a now anxiety, or a now signal. But if you're just browsing the internet, you are in your house, you're walking, to the kitchen, you're talking to your husband, and all of a sudden you get anxiety. You get a panic attack. That's a then feeling. Okay? Now, just to recap here, feelings are signals. Okay? Feelings are signals. So an anxiety is a feeling. So anxiety, a feeling now, or an anxiety now is something that I just explained. Somebody comes to your door with a knife or chasing you, or an animal is going to bite you. That's a now feeling. But if you are just in your house, I don't know, you decide to go to the kitchen, suddenly you get anxiety. That's a then feeling. A then feeling, in other words, an association. And I'm going to explain what association means in this case. So, very important to recognize, and I think you know, nobody is trying to kill you or hurt you right now. It's a now feeling. Plus, it doesn't stay. Okay? You may get an initial fear and terror, but it subsides. But when it's a then feeling, it doesn't go away. It lingers and lingers and lingers. Now, panic attack is an extreme anxiety, okay? Like vertigo. Vertigo is an extreme dizziness when you let it go too far. Okay, the same thing with pain. Pain is, this is explained to me by these essences, these teachers. But pain is a second. You get a pain. In other words, it's a signal. And signals are immediate and they go away. It just bling, like a little notification in your phone. Cling, that's pain. Look how fast. Pain, that's it. The reason you continue to feel pain is because you follow the signal. Do you understand? When I say follow the signal, an example. Somebody get, boom, a toothache. It's quick, toothache. What if the person does? Oh my God, my toothache. Oh my God, and they rub their gum and oh my God. And they just continue to concentrate on whatever they felt. But the initial one, it was bang, quick. But you continue to focus, to concentrate on the initial pain. So now the pain is chronic, but it's not really the pain. What happens is you follow the signal. So the signal continues. And we do it because we've been automatic. We've been in automatic pilot. We haven't been aware. We haven't been self-aware. And part of the shift in consciousness is to become aware, self-aware. This is what the shift is about. Now, becoming aware is, you say, is wonderful. Yes, I agree. It's amazing what you have done for me. But on the same token, it can be traumatic. And so that's why I'm here. Why? Because when you become aware, the signals are strong. Okay? Anything that you feel through the five senses, right, is stronger. If, let's say, if you get a little dizzy and you follow the signal, you will have vertigo and pass out. Where in the past, if you have a little dizziness, okay, it could stay, you could follow the signal because you've been following the signal forever. But it was like, you didn't even notice it. You didn't notice at all. Now, it's impossible that you ignore it. And so that's why that's self-aware. Also, and I'm not going to go this way because then I will move and, and then it will get too long and then I won't get to the point here. So pain is immediate and it's not something that they just taught me. No, it's something that I even receive. Before I started to connect and communicate with these teachers, I was receiving it from them and from this special essence. And her name is Kissy. And she's been with me, and her specialty is the physical body. And gave me all this information when I was in California doing videos. I never, I didn't know it was Kissy, but I know I was receiving things. And I think in some of the videos I will tell you that I will receive stuff. And I would say, I got this, but it works. I would always tell you that in the videos. In any case, one day I was in the process of leaving, California. And I couldn't stay there anymore, so I wanted to leave. And all of a sudden, I just started to get toothache. Well, let me put it this way. Before that, I had toothache so bad that I went to the dentist and he took my tooth out. And when I saw the tooth, how beautiful it was, I cried. It was a really beautiful tooth. It was amazing. I was so pissed because The dentist took my tooth out. There was no need to take the tooth out. It was beautiful. You know what I mean? When you go to the dentist, they don't give a fuck. They just want their money. You know, I think it's very few. I'm sure there are a lot of good dentists out there, but very few that people, they just money hungry, you know. And it's not just dentists. You see people, you know, that are influencers putting videos in there to influence you to buy shit that is not good, and they're lying. That's what they're getting paid to lie. And so I say most everybody, you know. The ones that are out there, the rest of the people, you know, are gullible, and they believe for the stuff that they hear out there. In any case, I cried when I saw my tooth, and I went, wow, I was so pissed. It's like a beautiful tooth. And before that, they have taken, I would say, a lot of teeth in my back, you know, because of toothache. I think, let me see, remember, got one, two, I think about 3 or 4, you know, moles in the back. And that day, I looked at my tooth and I said, that's it. And I'm going to use exactly the words I said, this is the last time these motherfuckers are going to take my tooth out. Any tooth in my mouth. They're not going anywhere. I'm never going to do that. Go to this dentist in pain. I got to do something. But these are beautiful teeth. And they've been doing it, you know, for a while. They're going to leave me toothless if I continue to go to this fucking dentist. So I said, I'm not going to do it again. So then now go back to the point where I was in the computer and I was ready to leave. I wanted to leave California. I wasn't ready. I didn't know. I just know I wanted to get out of there. And I was sitting in the computer trying to figure out how am I going to go, what I need to do, blah, 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 doing all these plans, you know. And all of a sudden, I got a toothache. And I was like, fuck, I can't take it. It's like really piercing. So I got up. I got out of the computer, I went outside, I went in front of the house, I went in the yard, I looked at this, and it went away. You know, because I received this, that get out, get up and go out. And I did, and I followed this. And I especially started following since the fires in California, where I received this, like, you get it as a thought. That's the way I get it. I get it as a thought. The thought comes, and I know the thought is genius. It's a thought that is genius. So I follow it. So I got up and the pain went away. And then I realized, I remember about, I study energy, you know, how energy in the body works and all that stuff. And I remember reading about, when I was studying all this stuff, that certain parts of the body are telling you something. What is your body telling you? And that's going to be one of those podcasts I'm going to do. What is your body telling you? If you have toothache, if you have backache, if you have headache, if you have a stomach ache, what is telling you? If you had neck pain. And so I studied that. And so then it hit me. I said, what am I doing that is causing this toothache? And I realized I was trying to solve too many things. You know, trying to resolve too many things at once. And I went, yes, that's exactly what I was doing. I was in the computer trying to figure out, how am I going to go? And maybe I'll buy a house, and how am I going to get the money? And all this stuff. And I was trying to do too many things, and I got toothache. I got up, it went away. And since that day, that was, I would say 2000, I believe I left. Oh my God, my son knows very good. But it's been so long that now I feel like I just moved here. But at the same time, I feel like I've been living here all my life. So I moved, I believe in 2018. Yes, 2018. Because in 2017, I traveled all around the United States. And I traveled because I wanted to find out where I'm going to move. and I didn't like any place. I went everywhere. I mean, I love Texas, but there's a lot of things I didn't like about Texas. There's a lot of people and all this stuff. And so I didn't. So I said no. So I went to the Northeast. In any case, since then, which I think it was in 2018 or 2008, I think 2018, when that happened with my tooth, and that was the end. Now listen to this. It's not that you're never going to get a toothache. You will if you do the same shit I was doing. If I do the same shit I was doing, I will get a toothache. But the difference now is, if I get a toothache, I know I'm trying to solve too many things at once. I'm tackling too many things at once. So then I'll just stop and change my focus onto something else. I get up, leave, and do something else. Go cook, go do something, take a shower, whatever. And then it goes away. So it's not like it's not going to come back. There's no cure for signal. The only, unquote, cure for the signal is if you die. You're always going to have signals. The difference is that now you're going to, if you don't know this, after all these videos, you're going to know what is a signal, and when you get a pain, what does it mean, and what you can do to stop. Don't follow the signal. That's number one. Don't follow the signal. I've known of people that end up in the hospital. A few people that I know. I mean, so a lot of people end up in the hospital, but and it was just because they're following the signal. They're following the signal. Of course, at first, I had experiences where I don't expect you to do it. And I'm not trying to, that I'm better than you, but I don't know. How are you capable of doing something? But in my case, I'm very strong about this, So when I had a few things happen to me that it was, I would think that most people will call the emergency, the ambulance. But I decided no, you know what I mean? What can I do to stop? Because I know it's a signal, So anyway, so you get a signal. Okay, so this signal is telling you you're doing something. Now, as you become more and more and more aware, because you're going to become, whether you like it or not, right? It's part, if you want to stay here physically, then you're going to have it. That's it. So you have no choice but to learn this so that you don't have that much trauma. Otherwise, you're going to end up in the hospital. There's people that, I remember meeting this lady that I knew her, where I live. I was living in Connecticut, and I would see her and talk to her and everything, and she told me her daughter was in the hospital. Then they brought her home, and then back to the hospital. She had pain all over her body, in horrible pain, and they had to give her morphine, whatever. They have to, really bad the pain. It was terrible, and she was stiff. Now, somebody like her, I would never tell her this stuff, because I used to do that, and people, first of all, number one, they wouldn't believe me. They get mad. They say, no, my doctor is excellent. He knows what he's doing. So I decided I never, I don't care if the person is dying. I'm not going to tell them. Unless the person says to me, help me, then that's different. But I will never share this information unless they come to me for help. Oh, on a video. Why on a video? Because on a video, if you come here, it's because you're looking for this information. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. But I would never do that. But I know exactly what was happening to her, and it's just common sense. For one, she told me her daughter had a thing with her, that hated her. And she said, down, I go help her. Every day I go and try to help her, and, with the husband is too, and she's in a bed in pain and everything. She said her daughter always hated her, something about it, blah, 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 blah. But getting to know her a little more about, I noticed that she likes to drink. So that's one. And alcoholics that are able to hide it from the world. They don't know you. Now, and somebody who's an alcoholic, somebody who has problems too. They have traumas. And a person that has been a victim becomes an aggressor too. And that's very important to know this. And that will be remind me in another video, because this is very important for you to overcome trauma. To overcome trauma, you have to realize you also were an aggressor. You became an aggressor. Every victim becomes an aggressor, okay? Now, in different ways, but you become an aggressor. And so don't blame your parents. They were victims too. They were victims. And when you realize you were an aggressor, you have more sympathy for your parents. And, now you don't have this resentment, which is hurting you and which will get you sick. So I realized that this lady, first of all, is signals, right? She was following signals. If you know about now that you know about final signals, she was following signals, because pain is instantaneous, comes and goes. Okay? Just like this. Comes, goes, as like that. Even faster than this, comes and goes. So she was following the signal. That's number one. Now, I saw a video the other day. It just, in my feed, I was looking, I don't know, just on the feed I saw it, and it was, I'm going to give you the scenario, you tell me, because when I show you scenarios little by little, or maybe you already know, that you can see what's happening to the person. And so it's very good. It's very good, because then you can see what's happening to you in your own life. Why are you having pain? Why are you having this? Why are you having that? So in this case, there was this is a woman recording. I think it was one of Shorts or Instagram, one of them. So she was recording, and her title was "Why My Husband Doesn't Want Me" or something. And the guy was sitting in a chair, eating his, like a little food in there. I don't know what he was eating. And she's, all sexy and, and come on, baby, come with me, spend the day with me, come on, baby. And he's like, no. Now, they're in their probably late 40s. And he said, no, I don't. He was suffering in there with this woman. And she was harassing him, basically. She begging and recording the whole fucking thing. And then she leaves, and she said, I don't know my husband. Then everybody, she had thousands of comments, people saying, oh, he's not a good husband. What is he doing that to you? You're so beautiful. Look at you. You're gorgeous. You're gorgeous. Why are they doing this to you? What is, just stamp him or whatever. Well, to show you now, I'll give you a little information about this story. I don't know if he had a stroke, but the place where he was is, what do they call that? Assisted living. Okay, that's what it is. Assisted living. Assisted living is where they put people that have a stroke or they're paralyzed or mental or something, where they are independent because they have the little, maybe like studio, but they live in a community where basically it's like a hospital, but you have your own place. You have your own room, your own thing, your own, like people with Alzheimer's. They put them in a assisted living because they cook for them, they clean the place for them, they do everything for them. And they probably take them to the stores too. So think about it. He was in a assisted living place. So something happened to the guy. And I didn't get to see the whole thing because the wife pissed me off. It just pissed me off, really. And I feel like he should have told the doctor, and he should have told the nurses to not allow her to come in. Tell the doctor, I get very upset when she comes in, and just, you have the right to say, I don't want to see her. But he didn't, So I don't want to get mad and just leave. I don't want to this. But I want to show you the case, So here's the thing. Then she have a few videos where it shows she's walking with him and the two kids. They have two kids, and he said, "But you don't care about your kid. Come back with that with the kid." And he goes, "No, no, I don't want to come back." The guy was desperate, and literally, I think the guy had a stroke just to get away from her. Some women are insufferable, and I think I don't want to say all women, but I say the majority of women because women are emotional. Okay, men are more practical, intellectual. Women, we are emotional, and include myself in there. I'm older now, so I realized I was a fucking pain in the ass too. Very emotional, all this shit. So no, so I feel bad for guys, but at the same time, why are you allowing somebody to just say, get the fuck away? Tell the doctor every time she comes in, I don't feel very sick, I can't breathe. And then they're going to tell her not to come. And she's doing it all to make money on Instagram or whatever she was. I don't remember now. She's doing it just to make money. You know what I mean? So, in other words, people have no, I don't know what happened to humanity, but they just don't give a shit about respecting others, caring about the people, not selling lies to people, making money on people that are gullible. I mean, it's unbelievable. And you do it on your husband. You're teaching your kid. I mean, she's just doing it because so everybody say, you're beautiful, you're beautiful. I would never put my husband, listen, I'm separated, but I still wouldn't do it. I wouldn't put anybody, not even a friend, not even an enemy. I would do videos about them in a hospital and me being the hero. Oh, look. It's like when people say, look, I bring money to the homeless. I bring food to the homeless, and they go in the street and give a homeless guy $500 or $1,000. Why are you doing it? Why you gotta do a video? Why are you gonna do a video about it? Just do it, right? So people are very attention seekers. You know, that's what is happening lately. In any case, in that case, you see the guy had a stroke, and that's what happened. People get sick because they can't take it anymore, but they're afraid to do it, to take action. And you see it in children. Children get sick because they don't want to go to school. And they literally get a fever. So it's not like they're pretending to be sick. They do get sick. They get a fever, they vomit, they have diarrhea, and they can't go to school. But then it becomes often where the parents say, hey, what's going on in here? And if they're smart and the doctor's smart, they realize it's something emotional, something is happening in school. If they're really smart. Because, well, now you don't have to be really smart, you have to be a tiny little bit of brain to know that something is happening. And so you got to teach your children when your kid gets, they start, like, you realize, okay, he doesn't want to go to school, okay? And nobody wants to go to school. I don't want to go to school. I hated school. So the kid doesn't want to go to school. And it happens to me with my son, you know, where he was 3 years old, he couldn't talk. No, I'm sorry, he wasn't. He was like 2.5. I mean, no. It might have been, it was 2 years old. And he couldn't talk, so they told me take him to the school so he can learn, you know, they're going to teach his kid to talk or whatever, I don't know, some bullshit in there. And I took him, and he was happy. He was so happy to go to school, run and see the other kids and the teacher. He loved the teacher. By the third day, I'm going to take him to school and start crying hysterical. And I go, what happened? Why, you know, something happened, right, in school? Something happened. Why is he crying? So I go inside and tell the teacher he's crying, he's not going to come in. And I had to go to work after that. I was a teacher. So he said, I don't know what happened. And he seems fine with the teacher. But then I noticed a guy all dressed in black. Some fucking old man in there, like, I don't know, like 50-something. And he comes toward us, and my son really gets hysterical there. And he says, he's only crying to get attention. And I said, who are you? So he was speech therapy. He's the one teaching how to speak. And I said, are you the speech therapy? He said, yes, a therapist. He just faking it because he doesn't want to do the work. I said, listen, my son cannot talk, but I know my son doesn't like you. And there's something, and I don't know what it is, but he doesn't want to be near you. He said, well, you are just letting your son manipulate you. I said, you know what? I said, I usually don't say that, but shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I'm taking my son home, and you better. And I told the other teacher, she was nice, young, it makes son like her. You have to do something with this fucking guy because he's doing something to the kids. Something he's doing, I don't know what he did, but you better shut the fuck up. Well, I'm going to investigate you what you did to my son. And he shut up, and I turned around and left and never went back. So you got to be with your kids. You got to realize, why is he crying? I mean, what, I'm going to force him to go to school because the fucking guy said that my son is faking it? No. He could be a pedophile for all I know. And hopefully they probably just yell at him, but I'm going to listen to my son. So that's what happened, you know? That if the kid doesn't want to go, there's something happening. Now, if I force him, he'll probably start getting sick and fever, you know? So you teach your children, especially when it's something like that, like he couldn't talk, but let's say other kids can talk, you can tell the kids, listen, what is it at school that you don't like? And at first they're going to say nothing. Eventually, you know, they get your trust and they tell you something is happening in school. And then you tell your son or your daughter, well, we're going to work this out. We're going to take you to another school. Somehow we're going to find a way. Are you happy with this? If I put you like homeschooling or and the kid probably say yes. It'll tell you there's something happening, or the kids are bullying him, or the teacher is a bitch and is yelling at him or something. Something is happening. And then you tell him, okay, you don't have to get sick, okay? You always have to express what's happening. Always express what's happening. You don't need to be sick in order to avoid the school or work or when you get older, to avoid the wife because she's a bitch, you're not going to get sick. So you have to express it. And that's you teach the kids from little, right, to do that. Now, they didn't do it to us. They didn't do it to me, and they probably didn't do it to you. And maybe if you're really, really young, maybe, but even then, nobody taught us that express, you know. No, you have to do it because I said so that you have to do it. No, you don't have to do shit. And so that's what happened. People become sick to avoid work, or the wife, or the husband, or maybe the kids, or maybe the kids don't like the parents. So that's the thing that, you know, this podcast is about, is listen to your body. Listen. Don't, and if you take someone and say, oh, you had a stroke because your wife is a bitch, he's going to say, no, I love my wife. I love her. Oh, my God, I love her. But I had a lot of clients, people that work with me, that at first, oh, she's so beautiful. Or my husband, or my wife, especially wives, women can be very, you know, intense, you know, and make the other person really have a stroke. So they tell me, no, I love her, my mother, I love this. Oh my God, no. After a few sessions, they tell me she was a bitch and abuser and this and that, and they're having trauma. You see what I mean? Every single time. I know when somebody's having an issue, anybody that comes to me sick or they need help, I talk to them first. I have a conversation, talk. I ask them questions, and from there, it's not for me. I don't give a shit what happened in your life. I'm asking questions so that you find out what happened. Why is you sick? Why is happening what is happening to you right now? So yes, it's every single time. But the first initial response is, my mother is a goddess, is a virgin, is Virgin Mary. I adore her. After a few sessions, they start crying and saying she was mean to them. And I allow them. I allow them to say, well, not allow them, and I tell them, allow yourselves to say she was she was a bitch and she was a cunt and I hate her. And then after you let out, you just express the anger, you let it out. See, you cannot heal yourself if somebody hurt you and you say, no, but I forgave her because this, because that. If you're still talking about the situation, you're still angry. You have anger inside. So you just express it, And express it the worst way you can say. She's a whore, cunt, I hate her, I hope she fucking dies, burn in hell for eternity. Do the worst things. Say the worst things. Not those. Say the worst things. What happens after you do that? You let out all that energy. And then you can work on, not making it important. Right? I mean, after that, I go through the second step, which is realizing that they were victims too, and that's why they were aggressors, and that you're also a victim and you're an aggressor. And when they go through that point, that's when, unquote, forgive. Forgive yourself, forgive others. Forgiveness is not about the other people. Forgiveness is about you. When I first started doing that forgiveness, I was angry. I said, nah, I'm not going to fucking forgive anybody that hurt me. Years and years ago, I said, nah, what? I'm the victim. I'm going to forgive them? In other words, forgive the guy that hurt me, or the person, or my mother, or my father, whoever it is. I'm going to forgive them, right? Oh, so now I got to forgive them. I'm the victim and I got to forgive them, right? I'm not going to fucking forgive them. That's what I thought. I didn't want people to tell me about forgiveness, like, shut the fuck up. I'm not going to forgive shit. Until I realized more and more, and, communicating with these beautiful teachers and essences, that it's not, first of all, I'm not a victim. There's no victims. I attracted that to myself, because the idea of victim is someone who was totally a flower there, I don't know, singing with the angels, and this guy came and stabbed her. No. You were the same. You were vibrating, and I'm going to show you. See, I don't know if I can do it here. I'm going to try to do it here. If it doesn't work, then I'll show you in another video how your energy vibrates with the other person. A victim's energy vibrates with the energy of an aggressor. So you have to do is change your energy so that you don't become a victim, unquote, victim, okay? So I realized that, first of all, I attracted these people in my life. And then you say, well, your parents, you were just born. So how can that happen? Well, that's another video. What happened? Why you choose abusive parents? What happened? I ask all those questions. And that would be another video because I don't want to keep it. So, number one, when you get anxiety, the chances are that is a then feeling, not a now feeling. Unless you can see in front of you somebody trying to attack you. Or something, there's a threat that they're going to take your house, they're going to do something. Then it's a now feeling, okay? And you don't have to do much, it goes away immediately. A then feeling is when your body is associating something, in quote, past with now, okay? So, when you were 5 years old, this dog bit you, right? You were 5 years old, the dog bit you. It happened already, right? But guess what? The body consciousness archives every experience that you had, absolutely, to the speed of light, okay? That fast. So You may not remember every second that happens an hour ago, but the body archive everything that happened in the entire, not only entire life, but other focuses. Now, other focuses are what people say past lives. There's no past lives. They're all happening at the same time. But, for the purpose that you understand what is the other focuses, is other use, in other, it could be other dimensions, but it could be right here on this earth, parallel life. You have so many use. You have probable self, you have aspects, you have parallel, you have other dimensions, and you have them right here on the earth, right? Other countries, you have many use. So they're all your body consciousness that's not differentiate between you and the thousands of other focuses that you have. Okay? So now, other focuses have an influence on you, but not to that extent, like the one that is you, this focus. So we don't have to worry too much about that. But, even if it is the method that I'm going to give you, it's going to work for all of them. So what you do is, you feel weird. You feel a little, you don't have an anxiety yet. And definitely not a panic attack, because if you follow the signal, you'll have a panic attack. So you just have you're feeling weird. Like, I don't know, I feel something weird, like a fear, like something. Immediately you open your phone, right? And look at the time. Or the computer, whatever you have with you. You run to your phone, you run to your computer, and you say, like in this case, I open the computer calendar and it says, you start with Monday, February 19, 2024, 12:55 p.m. That's what you do. And then you say your city and your state and your country. And you can say it's sunny or it's raining or whatever. Right? Hold on, my cat doesn't like the door closed. I can't close the door. Is that right? What do you want? Huh? So that's what you do. You open the phone or you open the computer and you say, in my case, it says Monday, February 19, 2024, 12:55 p.m. Then I say the city, then I say the state, and then I say it's sunny, it's cold. You can say 20 degrees, and it's sunny, blah, blah, blah. Say it. Now, the reason you're doing this, and then in another video I'm going to do, maybe I'll do part 2 so that I can give you other methods, because it's getting too long, this podcast, but I'm going to give you other methods too. So you do that, right? And it goes away. Now, what you're doing is instructing, redirecting your body consciousness. This is what you're doing, redirecting your body consciousness. So what you're doing is, I'm going to give you, it's not like that, but so you understand, the body consciousness archive that experience you had when you were 3, 4, 5 years old. It could be even when you were 10 years ago, doesn't matter. It archived it. And if it was a bad experience, it will put it in a brown folder, right? A dark color folder. And if it was a good experience, put it in a pink one. Or whatever, a nice color. I'm just giving you an idea. It doesn't really happen like that, but it archives the bad experiences, the threatening ones, right? In this folder. Now, when now you are 30, 40, 50, and you feel anxiety, why? I'm in my house, nothing. I have food, I have everything. Where am I getting anxiety? There's something that is happening. It could be somebody's playing a music, maybe the perfume of someone, maybe a dog was barking, maybe the weather. Something is, the body is associating it with that bad experience that you had. Somebody, when right there in this moment, you're not paying attention to everything. You didn't pay attention to the car that went by, the tree that was making noises, the bird. You're not paying attention to all that, okay? You are focused on this, whatever's in front of you, whatever listening to me, but you're not focusing on everything around you. But the body is, and the body suddenly feels like, maybe there was a car beating the horn. And it was specifically beating the horn like that one when you were 3 years old. Could be many things. You don't need to find out. And please don't find out. Don't look for it. Just do that. And what you're doing in that moment is redirecting the experience out of that folder. And you may have to do a few, because maybe there's a lot of things that is redirecting them. Okay? You need to redirect, because otherwise you're going to have that. Now, in the moment when you're feeling like weird, that's when you do it. Stop everything you're doing. I used to get panic attacks every day. Not anxiety, panic attacks. My waking moments were anxiety and panic attacks. And if I didn't have anxiety, it was worried when I'm going to get it. Okay, so I have phobia for everything. I didn't want to go here, because if I had a panic attack when I was there, and I don't want to go there. This kind of thing I was. So, so that's the way you do. You redirect the body. That's not the way we do. Sometimes there's people in your life, and I did that, and I said, okay, I noticed that I was getting anxiety when it reached 5:30. I started to feel weird. It wasn't a real full-blown anxiety, but I started to feel like anxious, like an anxiety thing, an uneasiness around 5. And then I said, it's at 5 o'clock, why? And then I realized, why? Because it's getting dark and you can't go out anymore, because I was afraid to go out in the dark, which I changed it too, by the way. And I was afraid to go out because I live in the goons, in the mountains in California. So I was like, I don't want to go out at night. So that was it. I was stuck. First, I was stuck. But another thing happened. That's when my husband came home. So there's a few things that I started to notice, and I took action, and that shit changed. But my anxiety, that will be another video. That I'll explain all this, how you're able to work with trauma, and also getting rid of energy. And when people say release energy, be careful. And I don't mean to put fear, but yes, do it, but do it gradually, slowly. It's better to do, and I'm going to give you that they gave me, is to heal. It's better than to release energy. You got to be careful, because everybody's different, and you could have a lot of energy that you accumulated that you were trying to block, right? Because you can't really block energy, but you accumulated. So it suppressed emotions in there that you have. Those are energies. Emotion is energy. So you're suppressing that energy, suppressing, and could be anger, it becomes the hate. You're angry, and the energy is very, very strong and very intense depending on the person. No? Some people are more intense than others. And so when you try to release that, it knocks you out. I mean, in horrible pain and noise. I did it. Where I did it actually twice. Actually, more than twice. And one of them, I was just vomiting and pain, where I couldn't sit. There was no position to sit, stand up, lay down. Nobody. It was fucking horrible pain. And because I was releasing energy. So I suggest people don't do that. Don't follow these gurus that, I see them. I see them everywhere that The release energy with this new release energy, be careful. Okay? And you probably won't even realize it's part of what you were doing. That's the thing. The thing is, if I say release energy and you do it and you get very sick, right? You end up in the hospital with pain and vomiting and everything. You're not going to blame me, and the doctor's not going to blame me, and nobody's going to blame me because nobody believes that energy can cause that. Now, if I give you a pill, or if I give you a tea, if I give you something, they can blame me. But not with energy. So that you get it, these people, most of the people that telling you about energy and releasing energy, they're just they're just copying from another video, or people trying to make money, or the gurus. So I would say the only person that can really teach you about releasing energy is someone who went through. Okay, number one, that it really, truly, truly went through. Or these teachers, the non-physical teachers. But I'm going to tell you something. Even the non-physical teachers I went through, I can tell you that you have to be careful. You have to be careful. Stop following everybody there that tell you to do this, do that, listen to this meditation. Be careful. Okay? The only thing is you're not going to die, but it would be very, very terrible. It's a terrible situation. So that's my advice to you. Okay? And I'll do one about how to release energy. But now there's a way to do it, and you do it very gradually, very slowly, and it's better to say healing, and I'll show you other ways. But anyways, on video in the second video, I'm probably just going to concentrate maybe on anxiety, okay? But this was basically a surface of what is pain and why chronic pain. Chronic pain is a signal that you follow. You follow the signal, you continue to have pain, just like my toothache. What is anxiety? Anxiety is a threat. It's a threat. But it could be a now threat or a then threat. And the then threat means something that happened a long time ago and your body is associating with now. So I gave you the method to do it, right? Very important. You start to feel weird, leave the room. That also changes the focus of your body consciousness. I'm going to talk about body consciousness because body consciousness is number one. You need to know about body consciousness because everything that you feel, everything that you see, everything that you sense, you do it through your body. So you need to know about body consciousness. Body is real. It's consciousness. It's not some shoe that you put on. No. And it's very specific, and it was created in a specific way, and you need to know how it was created. What is the functions of the body? How to work with your body, and where all this come from? Why the body breathes and palpitates? Where did that come from? It comes from you, non-physically. You direct the body totally. So when you want to heal, you got to do it from the non-physical side of you. You are going to instruct the non-physical to heal your body. Anyway, I'll continue tomorrow. Have a good day.